girl Gentry Hay, and why am I smiling on this early Monday morning? Because Queen Bee has responded to the Spear owners sending her a cease and desist for using the Spear in her intro video.
Beyonce has received a cease and desist from the Sphere for holding up the Sphere in her visuals at the Cowboy Carter tour. Let's get into it.
Hello there, girls. Hey, Misstee. These other channels can't F with me, cause I'm a clever girl. We sippin'. Y'all, Beyonce is officially being sued for allegedly stealing from creators during her Cowboy Carter tour, and the lawsuit looks like $100 million storm headed straight her way. But trust me when I tell you that they're not ready for her clapback, because she can really be petty. But before we get into the court drama, let's rewind a little bit, because it's about what happened night 2 of the tour that reportedly led to her being served. And trust me when I tell you that things already started to brew from night 1. Now, with back-to-back performances packed with technical fails, dangerous falls, and a confused crew, clearly something wasn't right behind the scenes. So let's get right into it.
The Sphere on her Cowboy Carter tour, and below is a photo of the actual Sphere located in Las Vegas. Now, Beyonce and her team have yet to respond to these allegations of the cease and desist being served to them. Something tells me they're not going to address the public. They're simply going to cut this scene out of the Cowboy Carter tour and keep it moving.
Cause this ain't Texas, whoo, and we ain't folding. Alright, so most of y'all have heard by now that things are getting real messy and real fast from Miss Beyonce knows Carter. Her Cowboy Carter tour might be breaking records and eating down, but behind the scenes, allegedly is chaos. From last minute changes to tech disasters on stage, and now a whole cease and desist being sent to her whole name? Y'all, this is not just another tour hiccup, it's serious. But first things first, how do we even get here? Now, to answer that, let's talk about that night 2 of the Cowboy Carter tour in LA. Everybody was hyped after night 1 because it was so phenomenal. It was giving everything. But night 2, a different story. A lot of y'all might have already heard and seen what went down, but just when you think that it couldn't get any worse, well, an incident from night 2 is the whole cause of this lawsuit against the Queen. But let's just say that show had too many mishaps to ignore. Well, TikTok has been buzzing with all the tea on what really went down inside the SoFi Stadium, and let me tell you, the eyes weren't the only thing that was thick over that concert. Apparently, Beyonce's camp was already scrambling before the show even started, and word on the hive is that despite being up all night rehearsing at 6 a.m. to try to get things right, that's how deep that pressure was, that when the curtain finally went up, things just didn't go as planned. But don't get it twisted, Beyonce still gave vocals, ate down, power, presence, all the things, outfits, looks. But amid that almost 3-hour show, which featured 36 songs, Beyonce went all out with the technological advancements and stage production. She rode a mechanical bull, literally, ride it like a mechanical bull, while singing Tyrant. For example, she was hoisted up above the crowd by a giant horseshoe while singing Daddy Lessons, not to mention the mid-air suspension on a literal car during 16 carriages. But behind all them glittering lights and vocals, the chaos was loud. For starters, the visuals on the giant screen started glitching like somebody forgot to pay the Wi-Fi, and entire sections, especially during the Renaissance set, were full frozen. People on the ground were like looking around like, is this part of the show of the Renaissance? Literally stuttering. It literally threw off the entire visual vibe. But the Queen wasn't about to take that L lying down. No, not after night 1 had her proving 50 Cent wrong. During I'm That Girl, Beyonce was literally standing center stage with nothing happening. The iconic silver stars that are supposed to roll out and elevate the whole sequence were missing. And the worst part of it was that you could tell she was confused. She was standing there waiting, then had to just keep pushing, unfazed but clearly thrown off. But it didn't stop there. During Cozy Within My Skin, there was a moment where Beyonce looked shook, and not in a cute way. The crew dropped the ball terribly, like literally forgetting to mark where she's supposed to stand, and you could see her looking around trying to find her spot. Like, seriously, y'all, somebody got fired that night. those marks are crucial when she's supposed to be standing so she don't get hit by no robotic arms swinging around. Yes, actual giant moving arms with squares and all this stuff. At one moment, Beyonce almost got hit by one of them robotic arms on stage, and that would have been a mess. Like the tech was straight up wilding, and the footage shows her literally scanning the ground, raising her arms in defense. Like she was scared about what could have smacked her mid-song. Y'all, it was painful to see the queen go down like that. But fans with sharp eyes noticed that Beyonce was holding her mic up during parts where she was clearly supposed to be hands-free, meaning her hands were likely needed for choreography or props, so the fact that she was holding on and adjusting in real time, wow. And definitely not giving the Beyonce we know and love. It shows how much it was off script, like why didn't they pin a mic to her? And then there were the dancers. Girl, on one night they showed up on all glam in their golden suits during a Renaissance set, but on night 2, wardrobe was giving incomplete. And they were missing key costume pieces up top, and people in the crowd were like, wait, is this a stripped down version? Or did they just forget? Spoiler alert, they forgot. You could see them literally running mid-set like they were late to class. But to make matters worse, one dancer apparently injured herself during the ballroom segment. She later posted about it online saying she was devastated. The clip showed her stumble and it looked painful. And this wasn't just a little slip up. She had to address it on her IG story with real emotion behind it. You could tell it shook her. She wrote, "Well, to say that I'm devastated to have injured myself at show 2 would be an understatement of the century." But let's not forget that pit drama either. After fans complained about not being able to see her well during the night 1, they moved the honeypot pits closer to the stage. Sounds like a fix, right? No. Now people were too close. The stage is 7 feet tall, so the folks right up at the front literally cranking their necks, struggling to see. The adjustment made it worse for some people, and talk was that the stage had to be raised even higher to compensate. Well, stage and crew trouble aside, Beyonce still remained Queen Bee, literally reminding us why she's called that. Cause she pushed through like a total professional that she is. She didn't let that mess stop her, and that's why people were still talking about saying night 2 was even better than night 1. She knows how to make a moment, even when the setup is falling apart around her literally. Also, Beyonce made a lot of changes to the show between night 1 and night 2. We're talking new elements, updated sections. It wasn't the same show twice. And everyone couldn't wait for night 3 because y'all know she was about to be that girl, especially after all that chaos that went down. But despite all of that, fans who attended both shows swear night 2 still cleared night 1. And honestly, they might be right. Beyonce made some bold setlist changes, added some fan favorite tracks like Irreplaceable and Single Ladies, and cut down certain outros to keep the energy tight. Plus, she brought back the Renaissance screensaver visuals and even had Uncle Johnny pop up again and beautifully nod to her roots. So while things backstage may have been falling apart, the performance still gave what needed to be given. Oh, and y'all ain't heard the best part yet, cause y'all, when I tell you that Blue Ivy ate down, she was absolutely breathtaking on stage. But let's talk about this woman that had everybody in their feels, because Blue Ivy Carter came out correct, baby. She came out in a way that only her mother would teach her, the kind of confidence that made the whole stadium freeze. Like, she stepped on that stage and basically said, "You must have forgot who my mama was." From her early baby steps in the rehearsals to now straight up owning that stage, this ain't just Beyonce's tour no more, it's the Blue Ivy show too. Because she 1 minus 9, she 5 plus 3, she 6 plus 2, she 10 minus 2, 8, 8, 8, 8 down. could see it in her energy, her rhythm, her confidence. It's in her DNA. She was gliding, hitting them counts like she's been doing it her whole life. Well, she kind of has, because we've literally watched her growth. This girl grew up on sound checks and world tours. What better crash course in superstardom is there than growing up under Beyonce and Jay? And now Blue's earning her own applause, her own cheers, and her own spotlight. I was low-key emotional, like, that's my online niece right there, y'all. But let's not act like Blue was the only scene stealer, because baby Cowboy Carter made her debut, and she was just the cutest little moment of the whole night. The way she came out like, finally, I've been waiting to do this too, was everything. She was so hyped, you could just feel the joy bursting off of her on stage. She hugged Beyonce as if she was just meeting her for the first time. Like, right there, that was her little superstar initiation. Vibe definitely secured. And it was just a full circle softcore moments. Like, Beyonce's legacy isn't just continuing, it's literally unfolding before our eyes. It's more than just talent, it's the generational magic. Watching Rumi and Blue out there side by side with their mama, it felt like witnessing history, and not just Black excellence, because that was there too, but Black girl generational greatness. We gotta give it up, because Beyonce's not just raising performers, she's raising powerful, fearless, young women queens who are already stepping into their light. And honestly, that's the flex of all flexes. You could bet that never gotta sweat that. Well, even though Sir Carter was not in attendance, Mama Bear had him waving at the crowd through the screen. Say what you want about B, but when it comes to being a fire mama, she's totally showing up for her kids. And that was just a glimpse of the magic behind the storm. I can literally see why attendees said the night 2 was more magical than night 1 though. It might sound like shade, but if you've been following Beyonce, then you already know. She doesn't play when it comes to her shows. Because this is the same woman who had backup dancers getting micromanaged during pregnancy, who dropped a whole Netflix documentary showing us how she basically trained like an Olympic athlete to serve 2 hours of back-to-back excellence at Coachella. So if things weren't clicking 100% in night 2, best believe Mama B went backstage heated and started moving mountains to make sure night 3 would be nothing short of perfection. But y'all, let's talk about what really got the streets buzzing. This whole lawsuit, this cease and desist, this whole thing. So there's this wild moment during the Cowboy Carter show and concert visuals where Beyonce appears as this massive goddess level version of herself, walking through the Las Vegas skyline. And then, pause for the drama, she bends down, scoops up the actual Las Vegas sphere like it's a dag souvenir, and just holds it up. Y'all, she straight up turned the sphere into her little prop. The crowd went crazy and TikTok couldn't shut up about it. And for a few seconds, folks were thinking, wait, is Beyonce about to announce her Vegas residency? Well, the owners of the sphere apparently did not find that cute at all. But according to Sharp as Nails' letter from Madison Square Garden Entertainment legal team, Beyonce and her company Parkwood Entertainment are now facing a cease and desist. They basically accused her of jacking the sphere's image and using it without permission. And this wasn't a whisper, it was a sharply worded big law firm high power kind of letter. They said the sphere was prominently featured, digitally manipulated, and used without authorization, period. But the article read, ever since Beyonce's 2025 Cowboy Carter tour kickoff show this past Monday, April 28th, the Beehive has been abuzz over social media clips from the concert, featuring a video interlude of the singer picking up the Las Vegas Sphere. However, Sphere Entertainment CEO James Dolan has objected to the imagery, issuing a cease and desist letter demanding the video be removed from her shows, according to the New York Post. In a letter to Beyonce's production team, Parkwood Entertainment, Dolan's attorney Kathleen McCarthy accused her of impermissible use and violation of Sphere Entertainment Group's SEG intellectual property, arguing this usage has resulted in significant speculation that Beyonce will end her tour with the Sphere residency. But if you're thinking, wait, hasn't this happened before? Yes, Beyonce has faced similar accusations in the past. This isn't new. She's been called out for using elements that might have been inspired by other artists or institutions without the proper sign-off. Whether it's visuals, choreography, or fashion, it's not the first time she's had to deal with the copyright heat. But still, fans feel like this might be overblown. Here's where it gets interesting though. The people behind the sphere were additionally not amused, especially since B has never performed there and reportedly never even stepped inside. They claim the visuals are misleading and have triggering rumors that she's ending the tour with a residency at the venue, which they say is not true and not agreed upon. They gave Beyonce's team until the following Monday to pull the video, and let's be honest, when a billion-dollar property and global icon collide, it's giving burned bridges and bruised egos. Y'all ain't never finna get Beyonce now. But the fans were hooked, wondering whether Beyonce will be back down or if Parkwood will come out swinging with receipts and creative rights defense, because honestly, this one is heating up fast. But anyways, Monday came and it looks like Beyonce was high on her supply and chose to switch it up, because y'all know how B rolls. She never has time for the BS, and neither does she respond to hogwash. But according to this article from Hollywood Reporter, this copyright visual didn't appear anywhere on Sunday, which happened to be the third day of the tour. It read, Beyonce has replaced the visual of the sphere that was featured in her Cowboy Carter tour days after the venue had reportedly sent her a cease and desist over its inclusion in the show. It continues, originally her show had featured a visual of a gigantic version of Beyonce picking up the high-tech venue in her hands, but during her third show in her 5-night stand at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood on Sunday, she replaced the sphere with the Allegiant Stadium, where the superstar is slated to perform in July. Ooh, they shaking the tables now, cause y'all, Beyonce has clapback here real hard. Here's exactly how she replaced that sphere.
For those who do not know, that's the Allegiant Stadium, also in Vegas. That's the new Raiders Stadium. They didn't mess.
It's giving seamless, but pause before you pick a side. Let's rewind a little bit. The whole fallout might not just be about copyright visuals, because word on the Vegas Strip is Beyonce and the Sphere were actually in talks last year about her possibly doing a major residency there. Think huge visuals, cutting edge tech, full Beyonce level production, but according to reports, that deal fell through after she allegedly requested 2 weeks to rehearse with the venue all to herself and asked for a $10 million production budget, similar to what U2 got, and the Sphere said no, and that was the end of that. Now fast forward to this tour, the Sphere pops up in her visuals without a deal in place. So is this really about intellectual property, or is it low-key a bitter breakup gone public? But let's be realistic for a millisecond. It's giving petty, and that's okay, especially considering the Sphere isn't even hosting Beyonce's tour. She's booked across town at Allegiant Stadium, and the irony, that stadium is only 4 miles away. But that's like throwing a party next door and putting your ex's house in the invitation poster. And to make things even more layered, it's not just about the video. SCG wants all the imagery of the Sphere scrubbed clean from any future merch, promos, or potential tour films. Because did they hint at a Cowboy Carter concert movie? Oh no, that's the tea that we all need, that Cowboy Carter tea. But what's more, the Sphere hasn't exactly been a sold-out smash since its launch. So Beyonce even just referencing it could have been free promo, but they done messed that up. But apparently pride overruled their PR potential. Now they're in this don't use our venue mode, but let's be honest, even if Beyonce wasn't planning a movie, she's known for pivoting real fast, and did, because the tour went on, Dolan got his LA Sphere back, fair enough, and we told y'all she don't play when it comes to avoiding that drama. But here's the bigger question, is it beef? Like actual beef, or is this just a power move from a salty exec? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like somebody got ghosted on a business deal and they're just pulling receipts. And truthfully, would you cross Beyonce like that? It's giving money versus legacy, and the math ain't mathin'. But anyways, y'all, this Cowboy Carter rollout has had more plots and twists than the Shonda Rhimes finale. But between those ticket sales, lawsuits, last minute changes, technical difficulties, we're deep in the trenches. But this might be the pettiest chapter yet. But let me know what y'all think about Cowboy Carter. Do you think that she did too much with the Vegas Sphere thing, or is the Sphere people just mad that she took her talents elsewhere? Drop your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.